a Ghanatube so ebusian form dot for slow women sign so emamo akwa ababiom matna CD na ewie insem ahodo enkoso ewo oman Ghana na entempara no me ntwentwen so emfama mo no yebeka kotie insem ahodo bi a ekoso ewo oman Ghana.
Run. With what transpired yesterday, I truly wish that there was an opportunity for me to run. But unfortunately, there was none. It was even much more riskier for me to have attempted to run at that point in time. Because I was standing right at the entrance with about 30 policemen. Indeed, at that police station, there were 60 policemen. And in the morning, I had been there, Ța Dakwa Newman, the candidate herself, Samia Wuku, Mustafa Gbande, Akugan, we're all there. In fact, at some point, we were all having interviews together and having very good, Yeah,
I saw some of those lively chats. Mustafa Gbande with Ța. Yes, they were sharing jokes. Yes. Very nice.
We're all there. There was no incidents. In fact, even the turnout was slow. So for the 1 hour I spent there, you didn't even have more than 3 people walking in to come and vote. So it was people just standing idle and chit-chatting. And the police had just kept everybody out there at the entrance, with just a few people in there. We had an agent within the perimeter. So Ța, Dakwa Newman were standing far away somewhere. There's some, I don't know whether it's a mission house, and having their own conversations. And then I was granted an interview to the City TV crew. So I saw about 4 pickup trucks just stop in the middle of the road. Then the gentlemen got out of the car. And you could see they were armed. They were armed. They didn't have covers to their faces. In fact, when I saw them, honestly, the interview was still even ongoing because people had just come and left in similar manner. Because usually, as the politicians come in, they come with, people. So I was even wondering who is coming next. Then they moved straight to the blockade that the police had. I mean, let me call them like a human formation that they had. I thought they would even stop and have a conversation with them. So a first policeman said, hey, stop. Then the first gentleman, he was in a camouflage jacket, hit him, he went back, he sat on the floor, then he broke through.
He hit the police?
Yes. So when he hit him, he sat on the floor and he broke through. Then the rest went, abroad. So if you watch the video carefully, you'd realize that for the first 30 seconds, the police were not reacting. Because they themselves, they were trying to figure out what to do. Before at some point, after some had already gone in and were going after Ța, they tried to stop the rest. But even that, if you watch the video, you realize that they ran over them. It was a policeman who was standing right where I was, who grabbed me and said, "Miracles, come this way." So it was actually Jackie, your reporter, that I would say saved me. Because Jackie was seated on a wall, on the fence wall, reporting. And then your video guy, your camera guy was this way, also had his camera right on top of the wall, also shooting. I remember telling Jackie that she should be careful, because the guys didn't seem to be locals. They didn't even seem to know the faces, and they didn't seem to care. So Jackie being on the wall, I use her as a shield, because there's a billboard right where we're standing that came to the ground, and then there were some cars parked. So actually, that is where I stood. So I was right there. All the videos you are seeing from where we shot, I was standing by the video guy, except that they couldn't make me out. Because I'm sure if they had made me out, I would not be here this morning. But Samson, why are we here? Look at the police at the entrance.
And if you had attempted to run,
they would have
the point is that it does look, from the incidents you see, it does look like people who attempted to run rather got attacked.
Yes. Because you see, the guys didn't know faces. So if you are running, then they assume you are part of their target. So it was to look at the police, they are standing idle. They couldn't do anything initially. They couldn't initially. Until here where they tried to stop the guys, they ran over them. And you can see some of the police even moving around. See some standing up there doing videography.
Right.
You couldn't blame them. I think that, like Professor Enin said, the police were not armed. And basically, if they attempted to do anything, a lot of them could have been injured. But let me come to why we are even going through this. Samson, if there was even an incident at the polling station, I would be a bit more calmer. There was no incidents. There was nothing happening at the polling station the time these guys came in. In fact, they are the ones who came in and brought this. But the NDC are not learning. The reason why I'm saying they are not learning is this. There was Etiwa, there was Talensi, there was Akwetia, there was Triponi. And usually, I'm saying this to the Gen Zs and some of the people who are now following politics. And there was Ayawaso West. Today, when we speak about these things, everybody refers to Ayawaso West as if that was the first. And then as if it was something that came out of nowhere and the NPP brought it. Before Ayawaso West, there had been 4 bloodsheds. In fact, Talensi, there was an instruction by the National Security to stop every vehicle and search. Everybody on this call recollect. At some point, they found guns and ammunition in the vehicle of the national chairman then. To date, nothing happened. The women organizer of the National Democratic Congress in Etiwa drove through a group of NPP supporters. Some are maimed and incapacitated till today. Nothing happened. Akwetia, Honorable Damboche's vehicle was shot into. His driver was hit. He was rushed to the hospital fighting for his life. Baba Jamal at that time, vehicles ran over people in Akwetia. Nothing was done about it. You see, it is as a result of some of these things that for whatever reason, some of the political parties at the time, after Etiwa, decided to begin to take the protection of their own people into their hands.
Jambuadu made this point.
We cannot run away from that fact. We can't. We can't pretend that is it. We cannot solve the problems if we don't go into these things. So if you recollect, something happened in Etiwa. Etiwa was the first time in the history of the NPP that we stood up for ourselves. And you recollect the famous Yachiro Mubibi Kitwebi. And then since Etiwa, the NPP began to protect ourselves. When we came into power, let's give some credit to the Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Knowing very well that violence and electoral malfeasance and killing and all of that wasn't part of the NPP DNA, quickly mobilized all stakeholders to put together a law that would disband vigilantism. Let me tell you, as of 2019, that the anti-vigilantism law was passed, no political party had the kind of strength that the NPP had when it comes to what they did in Ablekuma North. No political party. We had the strength. We could do 3 times what they did in Ablekuma North as of 2019. But the president and the party then realized that that wasn't the way to go. Yes, we suffered it in 4 elections before we decided to own our own lives and our own protections. But they felt that it was time for us to put a stop to it.
The president was handed an opportunity through the Ayawaso West Commission. And
even that still give Akufo-Addo some credit. Because for 4 by-elections where there were bloodshed, we never saw the kind of public inquiry and commission that we saw.
But the public inquiry must have a purpose. I'm just making whitewash.
It wasn't entirely whitewash. Maybe you can raise that there are other aspects that has not been implemented. But people were held responsible. Colonel Epoku and Co. suffered consequences for the actions. So you can raise concerns about certain aspects, but we cannot run away from the fact that that was the first time in the history of this. And I'm saying this for the benefit of the young people who are only hearing Ayawaso West, Ayawaso West. I'm saying that before Ayawaso West, there was a Talensi, there was a Tripoli, there was a Tiwa, there was a Akwetia under an NDC government. That led to the NPP now starting to protect ourselves. Fast forward, the same NPP realized that no, this is not the way to go. Let's pass laws that will ensure that we did. And we passed the law to disband something that we were ahead of when it comes to, protecting or whatever you call it. But with what I saw with my eyes in Ablekuma, and with what I have seen public officials, including some judge, a cabinet minister, saying that they are now about to start, I think the NPP has legal committee, the NPP has elections committee, the NPP has communications committee. It is fair that the NPP quickly reorganizes itself and gets self-protection committee. Because you know why?
You are actually encouraging.
Because I was standing
the
there.
Rhetoric we have heard since yesterday. By people, some of whom say they were in the invisible forces or whoever they are. You are encouraging that rhetoric.
So let me tell you why. 24 hours since this incident happened, we are yet to hear from our presidency. We are yet to hear from the president put up a simple tweet that
it's not 24 hours yet.
It's 24 hours. This thing happened around 10 a.m. I was there. It's 24 hours. It's 11:31. The president is yet to put up a simple tweet. Listen, I could have lost my life yesterday simply because we were going to vote. because I had no protection. And you know why the NPP would need a protection committee? Because the police could not protect me. They ran and left me. I told you, I was standing by Jackie.
When you say protection committee, what are you talking about?
People to ensure that at the time this incident happened, there would be 10, 20 people standing behind me, holding me. I didn't have it. I didn't. And the NPP...
You're talking about tax.
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you about protection. And I've given you history. You see, something. If we don't speak up about this matter, the manner in which it deserves, it will never be. You know why? If yesterday Sam George and Co., who are cabinet ministers, who currently are saddled with the responsibility of our protection, had not made the kind of reckless comments he made, I would not be saying this, because I would have felt that we have a government that is concerned about what happened.
He was a victim.
Okay.
And no action was taken.
So there were victims in Talensi.
He, together with Hanabisu,
there were victims in Talensi.
Their pain.
There were victims in Salensi. There were victims in Tripoli. There were victims in Etiwa. There were victims in Akwetia whose family members are alive. All of them should speak like that. And all of them should decide to take vengeance. And then we'll continue and never end.
But if what they said, you fault them and you say it is wrong. Of course, in 2020, 8 people died. You should not be encouraging that kind of
I have just told you something that you are not listening to me. I have told you that what I saw yesterday should never recur. And that I could have lost my life. Let me probably put it this way. A bullet knows no political color. A bullet knows no political color. And in the midst of chaos, nobody is safe. Something, the kind of videos you are seeing and what I saw, okay, you could send your own army and you could be a victim, you could fall because it's chaotic. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. So it's not something that everybody...
Hold on for me. Yes.
Hold on, let me just...
You hold on.
If you let me learn properly...
You hold on.
Then you can go to Abegu. I mean, it's fair. Yeah. Let me just learn properly. So, there are things that I think should be done. There is a law that speaks completely against what transpired yesterday. The police had a responsibility to enforce that law. They failed. There is a government who currently has a responsibility to ensure the safety of everybody. That government, as we speak this morning, has not spoken.
They have spoken. You want to hear from the president.
The government functionaries who have responsibilities of the states and are accountable to the state are making very reckless comments. I feel very unsafe.
I feel very responsible comments.
I've given you
Shamima, who speaks for government, also said things condemned.
Did I lie about the government functionaries who made reckless statements? So let me make those ones. You can make the Omanebo Ames and Coos. Okay.
You are concluding.
So until they come forward and give some comfort and assurance to the people of this country, nobody is safe. Including they themselves.
That's a true point.
I was young for me that was Muchi, and my cotier a year in Seminole. I say, Moitié, ama, what the comments, me or commentation. When yes, I ever mammy, now making Kai and Mamma Fefe, aha, a Ghanatube, so be on subscribe. I was young for to was and not subscribe. Now face me a year notification bell. So send a behind same number to Tuma, not win yan in tempers. My mother things to say, obey like it, not a thing so, but share in videos way, our channel way. So I was young for her a Ghanatube, so wonderful, snowy, Sissy, Macram.